Thank you for joining me. Well, let's make the wreath. This is a Highland cow or cow, 6-inch metal sign from uniqueinacreek.com. The small board from Unique in a Creek. We'll be using the orange horizontal, the burnt orange, it said on the packets, horizontal white stripe, and the yellow horizontal white stripe. Okay, so I did cut this with a rotary cutter. I did not wood burn it because we are using this petal. I always forget to look it up to see what it's called. And so that's the petal. And then we're using the 3D daisy petal with a bead. And also the other one. Okay, so that's our colors and combos, petals for today. I'm using. So we'll put that 6-inch sign aside. Again, I meant to buy an 8-inch sign, but I probably clicked on the wrong sides, and so. But we're gonna use this and see what it'll look like. Maybe we'll like it. And the board. The board is the Unique in a Creek small board. We are using rows 2, rows 3, and rows 4. But we'll add 8 zip ties in there right now. So what you do to add your zip ties, you make sure your zip tie head is flat and is facing the ceiling. And what you do is go in one hole and up the other. Okay. Just like that. And zip it up just a tiny bit, a couple of clicks. And you do the same thing. We're doing, this is called serred holes. What we refer to as serred holes is this. There's zip tie in one hole, so that's serred hole. And the middle 2 holes right here is for the attaching the sign or the flower center, but we're not using that today. Check the back before you start on your petals to see if all the holes are filled to where you want them. So that's a good way to look at the board. Put that aside, and I'll show you the petals we are using. So we are using this petal. I keep forgetting what this petal is called. So the tools I'll be using are scissors and these nippers and needle nose. That's probably what I'll need. And zip ties are over here, and small zip ties, big zip ties, whatever size zip ties you like to use. So let's make 2 of these. Okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna grab one of the 10 by 10. I did cut it with a rotary cutter and not a wood burner. So I'm gonna put this curved side up this way and turn it this way and diagonal. I'm gonna grab this, put it down over here, in that shape. And I always like to line up mine because I just like how precise they are, sort of perfect they are when I fold them and put them into the board. Okay, right there. And I do the same thing on this side. Okay, swing this around, and up from here, these tips over here, I go up 2 inches and I scrunch them together. And I grab a zip tie. Or you can just slip them into the board, or you can pin them, whatever you do. Or maybe use rubber bands. But I like to use zip ties. Okay, so there's our petal. And another one. add those petals on row 2, 8 of them. Just slip them in there. I'm making sure my zip tie is up because it's a stopper. And I'm going in with the flat side facing up. So this is the folded side. So I'm going in there with the flat side up. And grab my needle nose and zip it up. So I'm making sure my zip tie is in there as well. So I'll continue on adding the other 7 pieces for row 2. Okay, so it might be fraying. Okay, so I'm gonna cut those tails off. There's the 8 in there. I always love this petal because it just covers really well on the sides like this, and it gives a little bit of a star look. So all those 8 are in there. So next we're gonna add these, but we're gonna have to make a couple of them first. So a couple of the yellow 3D daisy with the bead petal. We could call it the yellow petal or the 3D daisy with the bead petal. I always say both of them. So we'll need our orange beads for that. Orange beads, these come from Temu. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this curved side up, turn it this way, and grab this end, put it down. And then I lift it up and find the middle. And there's the middle. Okay, just like that. Fold it right there. What you could do is pin these, if you're a beginner, pin these here so it'll fold on, it won't unfold on you when you fold them this way. Pin and repin. And I flip this over. You've probably seen me do this a lot of times. This could be my favorite petal too, but although there's a lot of petals that I love making as well. This takes time to make as well, this petal, but in the end it's so worth it, so pretty, and I love adding beads to mine as well because I'm gonna push this under and zip it up in there. It's like that. All right, and cut that off. Oh, and cut this one off as well. So we have our Ellie petal or the 3D daisy with the bead petal. It's like that. And here you can decide which side you want to add into the board, because you see it's a little folded up right there, and this way it's not. So I always do the side where it's just, you know, curved up a little bit like that, and that's where I turn my knob of the zip tie to the side where I'm gonna face it up. Next one. Oh, and another way you can fold yours is, I think this is faster rather than finding that folding and finding that center. What I've been doing, and I'm just making a little square in the middle here, folding it down like that, and pushing it down. And they always come the same size when I do that anyway, so either way works and looks good. And pinch it. Two squares up is where I pinched. And grab our zip tie and finish making it. I thought about doing just these types of petals for this, like do the row 2, 3, and 4. I usually do rows 2 and 3, but we need, since it's a small sign, we need to cover this area up. That's why I'm doing it this way, but I think it'll look good. The yellow with the orange bead, Ellie petal, or the daisy chain petal is going on to the 3rd row. Zip it up. So 24 pieces is what we need for this row, for the yellow ones. Is what I'm using anyways. You know what? I told you there's 24, you'll need 24 pieces on row 3. And I gotta rephrase that. You'll need 16. And I did make 24. And I don't know what I was thinking. But anyways, I made extra ones for this. Maybe I'll make another one. We'll see. Maybe I'll alternate the colors. See, there's 16 in there on row 3. All right, so row 2 and 3 are in there. So now we're moving on to the last row, which is this one. So we'll need 8 pieces of the orange. Okay, so let's add our burnt orange petals into the 3rd row. No, the 4th row. What am I saying? Alright, so there's all our petals that are in there. This one is, just leave it. Okay, and then we'll add our sign. See where the top is? The top is over here. The top is right here on this petal. And boom! Flip it over here. We'll add it here and here. And I will need my needle for that because there's already a zip tie in there and I don't want to struggle. This way. We'll see how tight we want these to be because we don't want it these too squashed. That should be good right there. And everybody spread open, just like that. All right, so let's add those in there. This and this. These are the hanging holes. Right? Yeah. So I'll need to fix some of those petals. So I'm gonna leave these. Usually I just cut off the the pipe cleaners and stick them back in the hole, but I won't do that. I need to fix some of these, I think. Or maybe not. Alrighty. Okay, so there's our wreath for today. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you all for joining me today.